So you just came upon... Oh. You just came upon this balloon, did you?
Lost the indica, of course.
Yes, well, shooting down balloons isn't our brief, so don't make a habit of it. Those things are protected by the heaviest anti-aircraft fire in France. If you're going to get yourself killed, I'd rather you did it doing something rather more useful than shooting down balloons. However, you seem to have made an infantry unit happy. There's a message under there congratulating us.
That was a bit of luck, really, sir. Finding myself on top of all that cloud cover.
Well, there's a lot to be said for being lucky. However, I've seen the state of your machine. Now, it's in a terrible state from archery fire, so stop playing games with balloons, please, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
One moment. Sign up, would you, Sergeant, please?
What is it, sir?
It's a formal application for a commission. It's really very inconvenient having one solitary pilot. Could you pass me the pins, please, on the table there? Pins. Pins! Thank you. It's very inconvenient having one solitary pilot in the flight who isn't commissioned. As the commissioning board meets at Bethune tomorrow afternoon, you're to be there at 4. What are you doing? What are you... Stay there! 4 o'clock, all right? Good.
Congratulations.
I've got it yet.
Yeah, but I've seen what Captain Triggers wrote about you. I had to type it out. Hardly recognised you from the description. Well, you should be an officer by the time Mr. Galen gets back. That's notification he's leaving England at the end of the week. Be quite a surprise for him.
This commissioning board. I wonder what sort of questions they ask.
Name, number, rank, sex.
Suppose I'll have to tell him how I feel about the future of the Flying Corps.
Briefly, I hope.
Actually, I've been thinking about it quite a lot, you know. Well, not just for the commissioning board, but with the offensive role as a form of artillery, only with a range of hundreds of miles. Infantry. Observation, being the eyes of the infantry, and defending them from air attack as well, of course. And the whole problem of specialisation, you know, we've got to find out what armament we need. All that's
that briefly.
West, I believe human beings need sleep, Michael.
Indeed, good night.
Including you, come on. No.
Oh, good heavens, I'd absolutely no idea. I've been doing a little analysis, do you see?
Oh, what's on?
Velocity, sine, the angles of the horizontal.
Good night.
How long it takes an anti-aircraft shell to reach one. I don't think anyone's done any proper work on it, really. Probably nobody felt the need.
Tell me, Michael. Do you think there's such a thing as a officer-like quality?
Farmer? Sure of it. Whether or not they're the qualities that constitute the sort of man who ought to be an officer is, of course, quite another question.
What do you mean?
Well, presumably an officer's primary role is to lead his men to victory.
Yes.
But I don't see the English commissioning, for example, Genghis Khan or Attila.
The Hun.
Unquestionably. And it's quite within the realms of possibility that, had he been English, Napoleon would have remained a corporal. You know, it really is quite late. I'm going to bed.
Right, that's all, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
On these early morning patrols, we know our brief, do we?
Yes, sir, to engage the enemy index,
How
sir.
do we hope to find them?
And they're searching for our reconnaissance machine, sir.
What don't we do when trying to engage them?
We don't engage them until we have the positional advantage, sir.
Yeah, particularly if we're flying against them alone. Major Lancing's file, please, Mills. What else don't we do?
We don't break cloud cover unless we have to. We don't descend below 8,000 feet except to engage the enemy. We don't deviate from the flight course until we can get a positional advantage on the airplane.
Yes, very good. And? Come in, and?
Sergeant.
And?
Sergeant. Oh, we don't shoot down enemy observation
balloons. Right.
Exactly.
What's that about, Mills? Mills, what was that all about?
Problems with the laundry again, sir. Sir? What shall I do about the laundry, sir?
What?
The laundry.
Tell me, Mills, do you think there's such a thing as officer-like quality?
Well, yes, sir, I do. Sgt Farmer, sir, he's a jolly good pilot.
Yes, of course he is. He's still alive, isn't he?
Now look at that, see?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'd notice that if it wasn't right.
Yeah, do that all right.
Yeah, right. I've been thinking. Thinking what? Well, after the war, assuming nothing happens to Captain Triggers, if he'd like to give me a job. Get excited about that. Of course, I know it's irregular and all that, but I bet they'll pension a lot of them off after the war.
Well, Captain Triggers, they won't.
Well, I don't see him staying on. Not if there's no fighting.
Well, it was a peacetime regular, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he thought there was going to be a war.
Ah.
Hey, pass me that spanner, will you? On the end. Anyway, he's going to need a chauffeur and a handyman and that.
Better than the stores.
Shit. Yeah, he's the sort of man I wouldn't mind working for.
Come to think of it, wouldn't mind working for him yourself.
Corporal!
Shut!
How's that engine?
Good as new, sir.
Well, I hope it's better than that. It cut out on that first sortie.
Sorry, sir. He won't do that now, sir.
Good. Well, I always feel better when you personally vouch for it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It was down here it was sticking, actually, sir.
Oh.
Well, it took me a bit to find him, but I've reground it. Well, that's better than putting in a new one, because they always take time to wear in, see? You don't want to take their own chances.
No. Well, I'll take your word for it. I've no idea how those things work. Anyway, we'll be flying in about 10 minutes.
Very good, sir. All right, let's get her outside.
Hey,
good morning,
flying in
sir.
10 minutes.
Yes. Corporal!
Sir!
Trying to invent a new form of signalling, are we? Won't be needing this then, will we?
Sorry, sir. I would have removed it, sir.
Should hope so. Suck that into the engine and anything might happen. Right, carry on. Flying in 10 minutes.
Sure.
It's like a treadmill. Never stops.
Come on.
Won't be so bad when Mr. Galen gets here, I suppose.
Yes, well, I suppose that's one reason for commissioning Sgt Farmer.
You don't want to commission.
Look, I've nothing against the man.
No?
Well, it'll be a bit difficult in the mess, I suppose at first it will.
And
Well, he's a damn good pilot, but it's just that in my books, just because a man is damn good at his trade, that's no reason for commissioning him in His Majesty's forces.
Enemy! Enemy!
no party signalling.
No! Fire! He's signaling!
Come with me, Mr. Starling.
Sir.
Oh, it's in German.
I try. Dear English comrades of the air, I suppose it doesn't really translate. I have the honor to tell you that your friend, Lieutenant Rogers...
Rogers? Who the hell's Rogers? God, that Hun got the wrong squadron.
He is very badly burned and cannot speak. I am the German airman who fought... Please, will you tell his family? Let us hope the war will soon end. Greetings to all English flyers. Signed, Karl von Habrom, Oberleutnant.
Jolly decent of the Hun to let us know. Much good it did him.
I'll pass it under HQ. Thank you.
Switches off, petrol on.
Switches off, petrol on.
Air closed, sucking.
I got him, sir.
Yes. I saw.
Contact.
Report to me in the flight office when I get home. Contact.
That wasn't a victory, Sergeant. That was murder.
You know why that German risked his life to fly here?
I do now, sir. I didn't.
You didn't see him waving?
Well, yes, sir, but I didn't know what he was
Didn't see him
trying to
waving his
say.
hands above his head, did
Yes, I
you?
suppose I did, sir, but I was thinking about something
Those
else
of us
at
on the
time.
ground, we knew what was happening.
With respect, sir, those on the ground had more time to think about it.
When they went to his machine, they found the damn fool had flown without any ammunition. One other thing, Sergeant. Don't mention this incident to the commissioning board.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Excuse me, Mr. Brown. Sir, I'd like to...
Got everything? Papers, pass.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget not to mention the albatross. Don't worry about getting back here. Just as long as you're back here for the dawn patrol.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Thanks, sir.
Never mind. Commission for anybody nowadays.
Please. Is this where the commissioning board meets?
Yes, it's in there.
You know what happens in there, then?
Yes, I asked my father. You're a pilot, then?
Don't you know your badges, Airman?
Have you flown a lot? You don't mind my asking, do you?
No, not at all.
Only I want to fly, you see, after I've got my commission. I didn't know they let you fly if you weren't an
There's
officer.
a few of us.
That's why I'm here, of course. It was all a terrible mix-up, really. I was supposed to be going into the Green Jackets. All my family has always been in the Green Jackets. But I put down for the flying corps because I wanted to learn how to fly, you see. Well, next thing I knew, I was sent out here without a commission or anything.
Bad luck.
I suppose they got my papers mixed up.
They must have done.
Well, you do get awful mix-ups in the army.
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose you do.
And you know, once you're in France, it seems silly to go all the way back to England just to get a commission. Anyway, by the time I've gone back and gone through Octu and learned how to fly and everything, the war might be over.
I wouldn't worry about that if I were you.
It might be all the same. And you can get absolutely stranded in England.
Not in the flying corps, you can't. The minute you've a 50-50 chance of landing an aeroplane and taking off again without crashing, they'll send you back to France.
Richard! Richard! Come on, Richard, we're supposed to be flying.
Yes,
Come on,
I know,
get your
sir.
coat on.
We've got 10 or 12 minutes, yeah?
Have we?
Yes,
well, let's go anyway.
They've had
Come
trouble
on.
with the fuel pump.
Have they?
Yes, I've ordered some tea.
All right. Yes, all right.
I've just been catching up on what everyone was doing at home 7 weeks ago. Ah.
Sir, I think Vincent will be needing an extra cup, please.
Do you really think they'll commission Farmer?
I recommended them to.
You've seen him. He's a killer.
I always gathered that was why we're here, to kill people.
Not unarmed men. There are such things as rules of war, you know.
Contradiction in terms.
What?
The rules of war. When society manages to settle its disputes within the rules, that's peace.
That albatross pilot was unarmed.
Farmer didn't know that.
Well, that's what he says now.
Interesting point. Whether or not it makes any difference.
Of course it makes a difference.
Well, suppose he'd been armed with an air rifle or a
Then he'd have been
pistol.
armed.
Then he'd been a damn fool.
Catapult.
Oh, come on, you're being absurd now.
For your information, and may I have a cup of tea, please? In the first known air-to-air battle, the weapon used was half a brick. Some German threw it at a French pilot in September the year before last. Made quite a hole in the aeroplane.
That German's got a lot to answer for.
I always understood it was an Englishman who threw that brick.
No, it was a German.
Oh.
No, it was an Englishman because
Come on,
I...
you two, does it matter?
So that's not the point. The point is, the German that Farmer killed was on a mission of mercy.
Ah, now you're arguing that it's motive and not weaponry that decides whether or not someone should be killed.
Come on, you know damn well what I mean.
That German was an accredited enemy of His Majesty the King. One could say it's highly likely that by killing him when he did, Farmer will have saved the life of someone else on
Yes,
our
but
side.
he killed him when he was unarmed. That's the point.
We shoot people in the back. We attack from behind. What's the difference?
That is in a fight. A fair fight.
Nothing fair about the way I fight. We don't have good enough equipment to chance fighting fairly.
Well, you don't want pilots anymore. You want murderers.
Well, I agree there are a lot of men you'd like to have on your side in a battle and you wouldn't wish to see at your dinner.
I want men who are lucky. I want men who, every time they take off, have a better chance than average of coming back alive.
Yes, I know that.
We're not on manoeuvres, you know. This is the bloodiest war in history. We're not doing very well.
I know the RFC have sustained casualties.
So far, the RFC have been comparatively lucky. We've had casualties. Half the men I came to France with are dead, mostly fairly recently, fodder. But at least we lose them one at a time. We don't have whole battalions reduced to a matter of a few men in a matter of minutes.
But that's different. I'm talking about
In
one
the
man
infantry, they
against
used
one
to
man.
estimate the life expectancy of a lieutenant, Lieutenant Bravington, as a matter of a few weeks from the time he went into action. All that's changed now, you know. It's a matter of a few days. You're very lucky.
Look, all I am saying is that as far as I'm concerned, this war is for something.
What, exactly?
Well, I'm not an intellectual, but you know as well as I do what I mean. It certainly isn't for cold-blooded murder. And if the only way we're going to win is by behaving as badly as the enemy, worse, then I don't see what the hell we're doing here.
Yes. Richard does have a point there.
We've war aims to politicians and women. You know, in England recently, last time I was in England, I was wearing civvies. This woman came up to me and gave me a white feather.
What did you say?
Nothing.
The traditional reply to that one is, I believe, molting, madam.
Come on, Richard. Take your clothes on.
Sir, just why did you recommend Farmer for a commission? He doesn't need one to be a pilot.
I tell you, Richard, you see, it's really very inconvenient having one solitary pilot in a flight as an NCO. You see, you need two lots of indents.
What do you think, Michael?
Well, the only thing that worries me is the forelock attachment syndrome. Generations of assuming you're wrong and as somebody tells you you're not. I mean, if you happen to have been born and bred into authority, it doesn't matter how stupid you are, you'll be respected and obeyed.
Quite.
But if, like Sgt Farmer, you believe in the rich man in his castle, the poor man at his gate, God has cast you for the gate, you feel resentful. And that resentment makes things easier for him than for us. To go killing Germans, I mean.
Yes, unarmed ones.
Hey, Airman.
They're taking an awful time with this chap. When are they supposed to be interviewing you?
4 o'clock.
Oh.
Got here a bit early. Better than being late, I thought.
Yeah.
Tell me, you seem to know what happens here. What kind of questions do they ask?
But, well, it's all different now. In a war, I mean. And the Flying Corps, it won't be like the Green Jackets.
Green Jackets? Yes.
Yes. Father, he's been on dozens of these boards, and he told me everything's changed. Now, I mean, it's something like the Flying Corps. All that happens is there's just 2 or 3 officers. And they just make sure you're the right sort of chap.
And what do they mean by that?
Oh, you know. Officer-like quality.
Right, that's that. Let's just leave Sgt Farmer's engine.
Mr. Farmer now.
Not yet. No, check those elevators, will you? Anyway, it doesn't matter about him. He'll have his own ideas.
Up.
Up!
Down.
And down.
Yeah, they're all right.
Good.
He knows about engines, though. You've got to give him that.
Yeah, he knows more than any of us. The way he talks.
You know, I've been thinking.
Yes.
Sergeant Farmer.
Yes?
The forelock touching syndrome.
Yes.
Generations of assuming you're wrong unless somebody tells you you're not. Yes. On the other hand, recognition of equality by those who considered your superiors. Principibus placuisse viris non ultima laus est.
I didn't know you spoke Greek.
Latin. Horace. It is no mean glory to have found favour with the leaders of men.
Do you think that would make the difference?
It might. Provided he's naive enough to believe they really are his superiors.
I don't think he's got it.
Why's that?
It took so long. Shouldn't take that long.
Doesn't look very cheerful, does he?
No.
Makes you wonder what he said wrong.
Oh, they're pretty shrewd. My father told me when you pass, they always more or less tell you. Not officially, of course, but it's sort of understood. Do you mind my asking something?
No?
Well, it's just that... You're a pilot. Why aren't you an officer?
Nobody ever suggested I should be, I suppose.
Next, please.
Good luck.
Shouldn't be any problems.
Mug of tea,
No,
sir.
thank you. Carry on. Figure this out. So 3 men reported sick with diarrhea this morning. Did you know? We'll do a snap inspection of the cookhouse tomorrow.
What should I tell them?
Certainly not. Okay. Commission board should be seeing Sergeant Farmer about now.
Yes, sir.
Strange, having him commissioned.
Oh, I suppose I'll get used to it, sir.
Second man today that said that to me.
Nothing to it.
Sergeant Farmer, please.
At ease. Sit down, Sergeant.
Thanks, sir.
Would you shut the door, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Where were you at school, Sergeant Palmer?
A farmer, sir. A Lovell's Road, sir.
Lovell's Road.
Yes, sir. It's at Beckett's Hill, sir.
And where's Beckett's Hill?
Sussex, sir.
It says here you left school in 1910.
Yes, sir.
Surely that means you left school when you were 13.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, I stayed on the extra years because I was considered bright.
And what sort of a school is this, a Lovell's Road?
An elementary school, sir.
I see.
No, about Farmer.
Yes?
I've been thinking, I don't want to give the wrong impression. Good. Well, what I mean to say is, if they do manage to commission him, then it's up to us to treat him like any other brother officer.
That's right. After you left school, you went and worked in this forge.
Yes, sir, the family forge, sir.
As a blacksmith.
No, sir, as an apprentice, sir. Takes time to learn to be a blacksmith.
I'll take your word for it. Do you, ride?
I'm not quite sure I know what you mean by that, sir.
Ride. Ride horses.
Well, there was always horses in the forge, sir, plenty of them. I rode plenty of them, but I didn't hunt, if that's what you mean, sir.
I thought all country people hunted.
No, sir. I don't really like horses. Motorcycles are more my line.
Oh, really?
I'll tell you one thing. You'll never get a sir out of me.
He's all right.
He's all right as long as he stays what he is.
He knows about engines.
I don't give a damn what he knows. It's not his job. Now, clean that up.
I was just saying.
Look, he's a blacksmith. That's all he is. He's not educated. He's nothing.
All I meant was...
Listen! He's no better than you or me. What the hell do you think he's doing trying to be an officer?
Why have you applied for a commission, Sergeant?
My flight commander suggested it, sir.
I see.
You are aware of the responsibilities that go with a commission.
I think so, sir.
And you believe that the men under you will accept you as an officer?
Well, I don't know that till I've tried, do I, sir?
I don't think that's a very satisfactory answer, Sergeant.
If you're commissioned, do you think you will be able to get along well with the other officers?
Yes, sir. Well, of course, that's up to them too, sir.
Yes. Well, any other questions? Then that's all. Thank you, Sergeant. We will notify your commanding officer of our decision.
Oh, yes, sir. Thanks, sir.
When there's something more souls to bring What's all this then? Look! He's up there. We don't often get flyers this far forward. I mean, you can get hurt up here. You can get run over or bitten by a dog or anything. When the wind's right, you can even hear the guns.
Don't mind guns. It's little boys from the town I don't like.
I don't think I heard that. I think you better say that again.
Leave him alone.
You heard what he said.
Yeah, and I heard you as well, son. Now leave him alone. Come on. Break it up. Put that gun down, son. Come on, Sarge. Get him over there. Come on. Come on, back to the piano. Come on, play us something cheerful. Come on, son. Join along. Fancy a drink, Flora?
Yeah, one.
Don't worry about him.
No.
Lost a few mates, that's all. Where are you stationed?
Summary.
Oh, you fly those things with poles sticking out front?
Yeah, landing skid.
Yeah, skid. Keep coming over us all the time. That's all right. It's on me. Got a long night ahead of me.
What are you doing here then?
Brought some wounded back.
applying for a commission.
Crazy.
What do you mean?
Officer? You and me, we're not the type.
Why is that?
Because you are what you are, son. Anyway, if they was going to make you an officer, they'd have found out before they give you them.
Yeah, well, I made that clear enough.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm looking for Captain Trigger.
We found him. What do you want?
I interviewed one of your pilots today for the commission.
And?
We weren't terribly impressed.
That's because people like you don't have the slightest damned idea how to fight this war. Colonel, come in.
Forget that, will you, Michael?
Hey.
Talk about it. What seems to be the problem, then?
He had to take his background into account.
He taught himself to fly. What would you like?
I'll have a whiskey.
2, please.
Yes, all the same.
He was a blacksmith?
Very little education.
I've never asked him. Would you like to sit down?
Frankly, my colleagues didn't understand why you'd recommended him for a commission.
That's all right. Stay there, gentlemen. Vincent, leave us, please.
Sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Gentlemen. Look, I know your reputation. You're not renowned for excessive tolerance, shall we say. So I reread your report on it.
Well, I wrote it accurately.
I read a lot of recommendations for commissions. There's usually a certain style, you know, a nice chap, well-mannered, brave, good family, keen. One learns to allow for what they leave out. Not very bright, that sort of thing. So before we finally reject your Sgt Farmer, I thought I'd better come and find out exactly why you described him the way you did.
Thank you.
You see, we're different. Now, we're a special group, you see, special patrol. We go further over the Hun lines attacking their machines.
When you feel like it, eh? We don't have the choice, mate.
Well, we do ordinary RFC duties, you know, reconnaissance, that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. It's terribly important we know what they're doing. We send out patrols. Bring back a prisoner, they say, so out we go. Some nights we even get a prisoner. Maybe it costs us 4 or 5 mates, but that doesn't matter, does it?
They the wounded, you escort.
That was their artillery. It's the thing they don't train you for. Sit in a trench, getting shelled. Perhaps you should have a week before they send us out, stuck in those things where they put your head through a bit of wood and people throw stones at you.
Stopped.
Yeah, stopped.
The Blue de Vin, merci, madame.
He picked on you because you're lucky. All right, the Jerrys, they shoot at you like they shoot at everyone else. But at least what happens to you, you've got some control over it. We haven't. The shell's got your number on it, mate, that's it. There's nothing you can do.
Well, it'll change. You just wait. When we get bombing planes that carry a proper weight of bombs, well, no one will dare to use artillery then, I can tell you.
I'm sure you're right, mate. But you and me won't be alive to see it.
You talk about officer-like qualities. Sorry, sir. That's all right. It's your duty officers, mate. Don't forget, will you?
Yes, sir.
Now, you talk about officer-like quality. The Sgt Farmer would make an excellent officer.
Well, you obviously know him better than I do, but at his interview he didn't display the kind of
You
qualities
can't
he
expect a man who's been brought up in a village nobody's heard of, or in an airfield in the middle of the war to behave like a public schoolboy.
Well, if he's commissioned, you'll have to mix with them at
Well, I've
least.
got enough trouble with the Huns without worrying about my public schoolboys.
Good night, says.
Good night.
Dawn patrol.
You are rather surrounded by
Yes, well, they get sent me. I don't ask for them.
Frankly, I'm not very worried about whether he'll fit into your mess or not.
I don't want him commissioned so he can buy his rounds.
As an officer, he'll be expected to lead. It's no use his leading if nobody follows him.
Sgt Farmer, he commands a great deal of respect.
The British working man may or may not be the salt of the earth, but when it comes to war, and he becomes private this, able seaman that, airman the other, we like to believe he becomes the finest fighter in the world.
Yes?
But one thing never changes. He remains a howling snob. I'm sure your Sgt Farmer, and there are many thousand Sgt Farmers, would theoretically make excellent officers. But I know that the men they would have to command would resent them. It's a sad fact, Triggers, but the British soldier prefers to be commanded by a buck-toothed, well-bred nincompoop than by any of his own kind, however suitable.
Well, if you can't bomb them, at least let our artillery know where their heavies are.
Try to do that.
I've got an officer and 9 men lying on stretchers out there who'd say you weren't very
You
good
can't
at it.
blame us for that.
You don't think so, sir?
No.
Well, for God's sake, try and shoot down their observation balloons then.
As it happens, I shot one down yesterday.
Oh, that was you, was it? Our colonel sent a message of congratulations. We saw the balloon coming down. Even cheered. Didn't make any difference. They patched it. Was back up again this morning. That observer, he's good. When he's directing their fire, you feel like a triple 20 on a darts board.
Yeah, well, we can't shoot this observer. He's unarmed.
Well, that's his bad luck, innit? Look, you may still have your fancy ideas in your lot, but every hour that Jerry's up there under his balloon, we're getting killed. It's no good you just shooting down balloons, not unless they've got nobody left to go back up again.
Come on. Hey, mange, madame.
Come on, Sarge, let's get him out. Come on, son, wake up, we're going. Come on, up. Up we go. Get him out, son. If you kill enough observers, then perhaps Jerry will stop sending them up. Then I won't be having to put men on a train in the middle of the night. Men with their faces smashed in and half their guts hanging out. And there's 4 more from my company. They're dead. They died this morning because you only did half your damn job.
It's an easy one for you, Sergeant. Over. A few photographs of the railhead, here and back, right?
Baker's round, sir.
Got a few irondeckers in this area. Come in, Mills. You'll notice we're quite far south of the observation balloon.
Yes, sir.
Tempted.
Oh, sir.
There. There's one way to get here, I suppose.
Reporting back, sir.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Where'd you get the taxi from?
Calais.
From Calais, all the way from Calais?
Well, I know if I'm going to work down here.
No trains.
Never liked trains very much.
Well, as long as you don't charge it to the RFC, well. Welcome. Sergeant Farmer, you'll take off as soon as Mr. Starling gets back, all right?
Sir.
In case he has something to tell you. Mills, we've got to find us some cockroaches in the kitchen.
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome back, Charles.
Thank you.
Get something. You're flying this afternoon.
Splendid. Good to have you back. Thank you very much, Sergeant. I love the cockroaches. Yes. You all right? Well, how's married life then, Oh, good Lord, it looks so gloomy. Tell me it gets better all the time. Positively enjoyable when you're old and grey.
You don't know then?
Know what?
Lorna and I, we didn't get married.
And I'm to blame for that.
Could hardly blame you, could we? You gave her back to me, didn't you? No, just didn't work out, that's all.
But did you talk to her?
Yes.
What did she say?
You didn't tell me, did you? What you really felt? Oh, thank you.
It really would have messed things up between you, wouldn't it? Did you tell her that I...
No, she didn't. She didn't need to. Already knew.
I am sorry, you know. No, really. I do think that by going away and not seeing her again, that everything will be all right between you.
Yes, that's what I thought too. Well, then she hopped off to France, didn't she?
France?
Nursing.
Well, you should have never tried to stop her.
Oh, no thanks. She makes up her own mind about that kind of thing, doesn't she?
Oh, good Lord, Annie, you really are stubborn. I suppose you didn't even talk to her.
No, I didn't.
Well, then you don't damn well deserve to marry her.
Ah, Charles, welcome home.
Good to see you, Michael.
For want of a better word.
Thank you.
Nothing to report. The infantry's getting it plastered a bit, but no Hun aeroplanes, do you see?
Oh, thank you, sir.
Come on, let's have a drink.
Exceedingly good idea.
I've had another message of thanks from the infantry.
Yes, sir.
Someone shot down another observation balloon.
So, well, there was a lot of cloud, sir. I must have lost my course, sir. I came on this balloon and there was...
You just flew into it.
Yes, sir, so I thought I might as well take a shot at it,
The
sir.
infantry say you also shot the observer. Good. I've also had a message from the commissioning board.
Oh, yes, sir. I know what that says, sir.
Oh, you do?
Yes, so I don't want to apply again.
No, you've been gazetted. Second lieutenant, you've been gazetted. Come and have a drink, second lieutenant, to celebrate. Come on, just a single, mine. We're done. Come on, second lieutenant. Our new officer. Any moment. Second Lieutenant Alan Farmer. Come in. Don't worry, your brother officer already know about it. Sergeant Mills regards it as part of his duty to be a public information service. What would you like? Whiskey? Whiskey? Yes. 2 whiskeys, please. Well, it'd take a little time to come through officially. Meantime, make yourself at home, and congratulations. Congratulations from all of us.
Yes, well done.
Expenditure. Cheers.
Come over here. I'll fill you in on a few things you ought to know. You can share Richard's man, if that's all right, and I've asked Sergeant Mills to indent... Sit down. Please, sit down. Sit down. I've asked Sergeant Mills to indent for a uniform. Now, take it easy at first, particularly with the other ranks. Now, give them time to get used to your pip. Don't worry unduly. It's not as if you've been made king. Now, a few things you
Is it true he killed that Hun observer?
I don't suppose we'll ever know the answer to that, will we?
Well, he's developed quite a penchant for killing unarmed men.
Look, what you've got to realise is that he is an officer now,
Yes,
right?
but that's the point, isn't it? A commissioning board can transform a man into an officer. They cannot transform him into a gentleman.
For God's sake, Richard.